that work primarily with DOTs. We have 8 states and DC that use our processes to share video between each other and with first responders. Maryland, if anybody's from Maryland, is very familiar, or Virginia, or DC is familiar with the MCAS program. That's something that we support, and that's really expanded into a lot of the first responder community. There's a great number of agencies sharing in. I think it's over 35 and over 100 agencies that are able to view the video. So we've expanded that into data, and the portals have been a natural kind of progression for us to help find ways to more easily share that immense amount of data. So that's kind of Skyline in a nutshell. What you're looking at here is kind of login screen. It's typical login screen. If Tom, you want to click on the create account. So when you first come in, you're going to create an account, do your sign up, put in all of your information.
I'll sign up John Shaner. How's that?
412.
Thank you. Okay. Your carrier? Okay. I'm just going to do a mock-up. We're going to delete it, John.
So what you're basically doing is filling out the information here on this form, and then we're going to put in here, if you want to send it to me,
well,
Tom, what it'll do is it'll send to me all the information that's just been entered. And what it'll allow me to do is say, okay, I know John. I'm going to approve John to join this group. And then John will receive a link once I do the approval. John will receive that link, will receive a login. He'll also receive a text once he tries to log in with his new password that will ask him for a code. That text will then generate to his phone, and then he'll be able to actually get access to the system.
And then down here at the bottom is, I have read the confidentiality agreement. That'll click and open a new window where the confidentiality agreement will be agreed to. If they don't check that box, they can't go forward. So we wanted to make this really simple. So the only time we vet anybody is when they've agreed to the confidentiality agreement. So I'll check OK, then I hit submit. Go ahead, Tom. I'll turn it back over to you.
Yep, so I got an email just now just asking me for the registration, sponsorship. It gives me his name, gives me his phone number, recognize the email. All I have to do is click a button that says approve request. It says your registrant has been notified of your decision.
John, you should get an email that first validates your email and gives you a link to come back and says you've been approved, and you can click on the link to come here and log in. But let me know when you get your email. Now we want to authenticate. Every time a user logs in, we want to authenticate their cell phone. So John, you should have a text come through in about 30 seconds with a 6-digit validation code.
Okay, it's 345977.
This happens every time somebody logs in because we want to validate, and now they're in. So what you just saw was a technology version of the process and policy that a lot of you on the SISE work group have been working on for 18 months. Now we're on the SISE portal. This is a member-only portal. Everybody that comes here has gone through that vetted process, and every time they log in, that cell phone is revalidated. We could tie that to other credentials if we needed to, but for now we wanted to stay here.
Yeah, so really what this is kind of developed into is more of a dashboard portal type of approach. So a lot of times we've developed the map-based stuff, or we've developed, we throw a lot of data layers on there with geolocations. It's very useful. We've obviously included that on the upper left-hand side here, and it allows you, if you click on one of those icons, Tom, if you want to click on one of the cameras, and just hit view video, it'll start to play the video down at the bottom. If you click on one of the green icons, it'll give you a definition of what it is, the data that goes along with it, just standalone by itself on the map. Just one of the little bubbles that stands by itself. There you go. And then it'll tell you that it's open, and that's the information that we have on that. It'll do that for incidents. It'll do it for any of the layers that are on there. And then if you go to the upper right-hand corner, it's got your basic features in the map. Upper right-hand corner of the map, it goes to the basic features of the different layers that are in there. We've just put a couple sample layers in there, but anything with a geolocation that any agency would want to share with with the All Hazards group would be available in here. So it's all based on geolocation. Now, if you go down and go to the pavement temperatures down below, and then just click on one of those, the map will recenter you, bringing you up to where that sensor is, and then show you the data. So the list of data that's connected to the geolocations you have in the two places. Here's a list of data. You find the thing you want to look at. Instead of searching around the map, it'll just take you there. So we're trying to link this data between the map and your simple list. We also have other data in here, like in the top screen you can see weather. We have links to other locations. If you go in the top right-hand corner of the page, right-hand corner, if you click on the blue link there, the member directory, we can throw things in here like PDF, so it doesn't have to be. So what you'll get is you'll get a PDF that shows up. It gives you the list of whatever information you want to provide that way. On the right-hand side is on the red links are alerts, and those can be generated from CAD systems or from the admin section of this where we can throw up alerts to individuals. On the right hand of that is the widgets. So everything you see on the screen is basically a widget, and we consider this just pools of data. So if we want to go in and turn off the map, and then we can also expand and change the size of things. So if you want to expand the camera to a larger size, you'll notice the data inside of it will expand to that size. So then we can turn back on the map, but you can move the boxes around. Okay. So the basic setup here that we're trying to kind of show for you guys is here's a setup that allows you to manipulate your portal to your use case. It also allows you to display data, whether it's geolocation or whether it's just simple data lists or if it's a link to another site. All of that can be contained in a single portal. We don't have to build anything super customized. So a year from now, when we have maybe 40, 50 data sets in here and 15 websites that we want to link to, they can all be housed within this one portal. And then each user, over time, can save their favorites. So when they come back into here, they may have access to all those data points. But what you're really looking at is I can make this portal customized to my information that I would like to see, or the information that I have access to, because we can create filters to go. User group A has access to 100 pieces of data and links. Access group B only has access to regional or half of that data set. So it gives you the ability to go to one place, look at a great deal of different data, and be able to link to that. So if you go to the upper right-hand side, click on the All Hazards link. That'll take you to that website. So it's just a simple link into that website.
Yeah, so there may be direct links to the EEI portal, the SEE site, the RMAG sites. There may be links to FEMA or DOE special information. We wanted to be able to link from here out to public sites that maybe don't require security or vetting, and also to sites that do require vetting. This gives us the ability to do both, which is a key function as this begins to expand.
Correct. So all the data that we're receiving into these geolocations is data that we would want to link from other systems. So we don't want to replace systems. We don't want to forklift a particular type of way of doing things for any of the source agencies. What we want to do is be able to say, all right, give us access to your current data. So we'll work with those agencies to be able to pull their system and give us updates. So when we're looking at new temperatures on the sensors, or we're looking at new incidents, or we're looking at new sets of data, we can pull on a periodic basis so that the user is going to get updated data throughout. So that's kind of the new architecture most sites are kind of using, is it's pulling out other data sources. And we've done that extensively for most of our DOT and first responder clients. You know, there's some basic formats. There's RSS feeds and XML, API feeds. And then we've also incorporated some really neat stuff with the ABL systems. We've created the ability to AVL systems clean up their data and present that back to a single map. So if you're looking at locations of vehicles, if you're looking at locations of responders, those types of things, anything that creates an AVL system can now, or AVL signal could be shared back into this, so you can see the locations of each other's assets. So it gives you that more shared view.
So I think another thing we're looking at as we continue to work with the states, their state DOTs have all kinds of information from really Maine to Florida on the East Coast for road information. So this could become critical for storms and outages and road closures and things like that. We're just getting a snapshot into it now, but I think working, Tom, with you and your customers and some of the state DOTs and the I-95 Corridor Coalition, that's information we probably will be able to tap into, correct?
Yeah, correct. We currently work with Maryland, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Virginia, South Carolina, and Delaware has been working with Maryland. And I know that there's been conversations with New Jersey, and they have some architecture that's good for sharing content that they have out there. So we feel like we can add in that DOT layers, different cameras and data very easily.
And I think also soon to be Michigan, Texas, and I know we have some relationships with other organizations that are out on the West Coast as well. So the DOTs have tremendous investments in real-time information monitoring. And so through our state partnerships, we look to leverage that over the next 12 months or so. Tom, let me just pause for a minute. Does anyone have any questions for Tom while we're on the call?
Quick question on that AVLS information. Hear that right? That entities are actually putting AVLS information on their particular trucks on their site, so individuals who log in can see the location of equipment.
Yeah, that's completely the great thing about this. This is not mandatory in any way. So if an agency wants to share their AVL data into here, we can work with them to provide that data and make it available. And then when we talk about filters on the back end, if there's 100 users, that source agency really only want to give permission to 25 of those 100 users, then we can help them do that too. So it's putting it all on one dashboard, but there's also I'm sharing it in, but I only want this group to view it via permissions. So, that really becomes the key to it, is that it doesn't always have to be an all setup, but yes, AVL data is becoming much more real-time and usable in the DOT world and first responder world. Biggest thing is clouds, and then obviously I would think for a lot of the electric sector and first responders and those types of things, where are my assets now? They are doing a lot of tracking, and adding that data in can be very useful.
Yeah. And Glenn, we have two versions of that. One is public data, one is sensitive data. So we'll have, with this capability, we'll be able to address both, because the states have the same issue. They want to share some information with the public on AVL stuff, but there's a lot of stuff they don't. But they would like to share it with you all in the critical infrastructure during disasters. And so we have now the capability and the legal framework to do both, which is a wonderful thing for the states. So, any other questions for Tom?
Hey Tom, on that follow-up on the AVL. So if you had 100 trucks coming from Michigan and you had the AVL for the supervisor's vehicle, and you wanted to only supply that to electric sector in Maryland because that's where they're headed, you could actually do that on here, and then they could track those resources and across this map. Is that how I'm understanding that?
Yeah, so one of the things we've developed in kind of the first responder portals that we built for all of our DOT agencies, because they share out to first responders their stuff, and obviously turn it on to the public if it's something they don't see. What we've done within that framework is we've actually built in the ability of the source agency to choose who gets to see their data. Each select data. So they can create separate data sets, whether it's cameras or ABL data, those types of things, and then they can share it to specific groups of users or particular users. So it could be regionally based users, it could be an agency, set of agency users, it could be individual people. So when you look at that information as you want to share with specific groups, being able to go in and target those groups you would want to share with is kind of the key to, having a pool that can be one place for many to use. So yeah, that would be a great use case for it. And I want to add to this, Tom, this is a responsive site. So what that means is that the information that you see on here and your permissions can be accessed via your phone, your smartphone, or your tablet. What you generally see is in that situation, you will see all of these kind of in a scrolling list up and down. Obviously, you won't see kind of the same amount of screen size, but it'll give you that scrolling list, so you can scroll up and down and get to all these different data sets. So it is something that's just not a website. Same content here, same content you could access on a smartphone.
Tom, thank you. I think the requirements for this is this type of technology will allow us to customize a board per sector or per incident, per region of the country. The SISE work group will determine how they want to do it. Tom, thank you. I appreciate the effort and time. Skyline's done a great job here. I really like the vetting process. That was a big part of this as the requirements came out.